We are talking self-tanning today, ladies. I'm going to be sharing all of my favorite products with you, how I use them, when I use them, all of the tips and tricks from start to finish. And this really applies for whether you are going to a salon or a spa and getting sprayed by a technician, or you are doing your self-tanning in your home. So we have a lot to go over. Let's get started. The first and probably most important thing that you want to do to prepare your skin for self-tanning is to exfoliate. I find that using a dry brush as your first step is really important to getting the dead skin off of your body. I dry brush just about daily. I do have a blog post talking about the benefits of dry brushing. You can get to that up here. You can also get to that in the drop down box of this video. So the purpose of dry brushing is not only for self-tanning, there's a lot of other benefits. I start from the feet, I work my way up, and I really dig in there. But read the blog post. I give all of the instructions on how to do that. Exfoliating is key. Once we are done removing the dead skin, we are going to move on to baking soda, which is also a natural exfoliant for the body. You don't need to go out there and buy all of these pretty smelling foo-foo exfoliators when you are prepping your skin for self-tanning. A couple things about baking soda. You can mix this in with your cleanser. That's up to you. I don't. I put some baking soda in this little tub here. I keep a little measuring spoon. The key is you don't want any water to get into your baking soda. I keep this up on a high shelf and I scoop it out. I put it in my hands and I exfoliate my body. You can use a little water if you'd like. Yes, the shower is running. It's however you want to do it. You are going to feel the baking soda. You will tell that you are being exfoliated. This is all that you need, but it is a step that you don't want to miss. After exfoliating the skin really good, you will want to move on to this Cetaphil Ultra Gentle Refreshing Body Wash. This contains aloe vera and B5. It is hypoallergenic and it is dermatologist tested. The reason that you want to use the Cetaphil is that it is going to balance your pH levels of your skin, and that is very important for self-tanning. Body lotion is going to be your friend. You want to make sure that whatever body lotion you use does not contain any alcohol in it. The reason you want to avoid alcohol is that the alcohol is going to strip the tan. It's going to make your self-tan come off blotchy. You're going to look like a spotted leopard. I love this Alpha Skincare Renewal Body Lotion. There's no alcohol in this. I talked about it recently in another video. This does the job. You want to go heavy-handed on certain areas of your body. Your elbows, your knees. I tend to get a buildup right in this area. You want to do your wrist, your ankles. Everyone is going to have a different experience with where their self-tan doesn't want to really even out. So pay attention. Make note of the areas that you're having a difficult application, and then you'll know next time to really moisturize that area good. The other thing is to keep your self-tan longer and to keep it from gradually fading and looking blotchy as it's coming off. It's all about the lotion. If you can apply lotion 2 to 3 times a day, that is going to help keep your self-tan longer, and it's going to keep it from wearing off funky. All of us that have self-tan have experienced it, and we probably will, because self-tanning is a difficult procedure. It's a process, and it's really not for the faint at heart, because it really takes discipline and it takes a little bit of being a perfectionist, because it's so easy to mess up. So really be diligent about what you are using and what you are doing when you are self-tanning. Let me also chime in, no baths. Taking baths, being in a hot tub or a whirlpool, a sauna, even a swimming pool, any type of water that you are getting immersed in and you are going to have your body in for a period of time is not going to be your friend, unfortunately. If you do have to be in water and you do have a self-tan, it is imperative that you apply sunscreen, because that will help keep the tan on there as well. You should be wearing an SPF anyway, but I'm going to chime it in regardless. Latex gloves, or whatever type of gloves suit you, are imperative. You do want to have gloves on I never apply anything with my bare hand. It's just not a good choice, not a good choice. Don't do it. You need the gloves. You can purchase them in a big box like this. That is what I recommend. I reuse my gloves a few times, especially if it's with one particular product. The very first product that I want to share is the one that gets the most use, and I have been using this the longest. I love it. It works so great for me. But it's very important to pay attention to the one that you are getting. This is the Jergens Natural Glow. You will see this is not the tall tube. This is the shorter tube, and it's not always easy to find. This is called the 3 Days to Glow Moisturizer. The tall tube does nothing. In any of those types of products that are just almost like a lotion that's supposed to gradually give you a tan, but they really don't, those never do the job for me. This has been perfect. It is my #1 self-tanning product. I purchase it in the medium to tan, but there is a lighter shade as well. It's very affordable. The scent is not bad at all. It doesn't dry down super dry at first. I like to apply this a couple hours prior to getting dressed, but after that, you're good to go. The only thing that I can say is that if you are going to be out in the heat all day long, let's say you're gonna be at a barbecue or a cookout and you're going to sweat, for myself, and we're all different, I can smell it a little bit. I really can. And I have even asked family members, can you smell self-tanner on me? And if they're close, they'll say, yeah, I can. So just keep that in mind. If I know I'm going to be out in the heat all day long, I don't use this product that day. But this is great, like let's say on a day like today, which I did use this. I'm filming, I'm not really going anywhere else. I'm not going to be in the heat, so it works for me. And I will definitely be more enhanced in color with this. Now, if this is the only product that I am using, 2 to 3 days a week of using this, and then the other days not applying anything but regular body lotion, will give me a nice color, and it will give me a good maintenance color. That would be perfect if I'm not going to be wearing shorts where my legs are exposed and I want a little bit more color. This really is what I use for the most part, unless I really need to enhance for some other reason. And again, don't forget that I'm wearing gloves when I apply this. I'm also careful with certain areas that it just wants to lock to because the skin is tighter there. So just pay attention to that. You really have to learn to work with these products and figure out your own system, because what one person achieves could be very different for someone else. I do the tops of my hands as well. Really what I do is I take one of the gloves off, I squirt a little bit on the top of my hand, and then with the glove on, I will apply it. And I will go up on my fingers like this, and I will apply it. Then I will take the glove off. I'll leave it like this. I don't fully put my whole hand in there. I'll put a little squirt on the other hand, and then I go around just like this. And I will share with you in a moment another important step, just to be careful with in between the fingers. Lots of little things like that. I have it pretty much down because I've been self-tanning for so many years that I feel like I've become somewhat of an expert, but that doesn't mean that sometimes I don't have a little blotchy, but there's ways to work around that. The next self-tanning product that I want to talk about is the St. Tropez. I have the extra dark bronzing mousse here, and this one is just the classic bronzing mousse. They're pretty much the same product. This one is just going to give you a deeper, darker tan. If you are more medium skin tone or light to medium and you like a lot of color, I recommend the extra dark. If you're really fair skin, I would probably go with the classic. The St. Tropez is great for all skin tones. It also claims that at 4 hours you will be dark and at 8 hours you will be extra dark. Now this is going to take my color to a much deeper level than my Jergens 3 Days to Glow, because this is a gradual tanner. This is going to work almost more like a spray tan. If you were to go to a salon or spa, it's going to get you close to that level, if not there. There are tanning mitts out to apply this mousse, but I have had better luck using a sponge. Now, this is a normal sponge, and it looked like a normal sponge before it got discolored. So you can see by the color of this sponge what this mousse looks like. So again, I have the gloves on, and then what I do is I squirt some of this wherever I'm going, and then I use the sponge to work it into my skin. I put it all over. Again, I watch certain areas. Be very careful with the feet. Again, that is where body lotion is going to be your friend because you're going to put it heavier there. Sometimes we have to avoid our feet. It just depends. You have to play with it. Once you get your system down, it will work, but it's a process. I assure you, it is a process. I can't stress that enough. When I tend to use this is if I want to be darker. Let's say I'm going to be going to an event this weekend, and I am going to wear a dress, and I'm going to be showing a lot of arm with this dress, and I want to be to a whole new level of darkness. And let's say that it's on a Saturday. Could be a wedding reception, could be anything. I'm getting dressed up. Generally, what I would do is I would try to apply this on Thursday morning, and I would leave it on all day Thursday and not wash it off until Friday morning. So if you can't be in your home that long and you have to be out in public or go to work because you work outside of the home, this may not work for you. It works for me because I can give it all that time to set up. Now, it doesn't recommend that you have to let it set up that long. I've had daughters of mine use this product and put it on at night and showered off the next morning, and they have a tan. I just like it to be on longer because I can tell for me, I get a much richer color. So again, I would put this on Thursday morning. I would sleep in it. It would be dried down by then. It's no big deal. Wear loose clothing. That's another big thing. Wear loose clothing. And then the next morning I would shower it off, and then I would be probably pretty happy with my color. But there is something that I would add on that day. So, you know, again, wash this off on Friday. Then I may even put this on Friday just to get that color enhanced. And then Saturday morning, I would take a shower. Of course, this one you can go out and about because it's a moisturizer. It's a gradual tan. So Friday morning, I may put this on. I may be gone all day, working, picking up kids, going to dinner, whatever. But then Saturday morning when I shower after my workout and this comes off, I have another product that I love that really brings out the color. This is awesome stuff right here. I cannot be without this. I don't know how many bottles of this I have purchased, but this is the Tan Physics True Color Sunless Tanner. Such a great product. Let me explain how I use this and when I use it. This is not a gradual self tanner, nor is it a product that you put on, can't be out in public because people can visually see it. It's not something that needs to be left on for many hours until the color develops. This really is just that product that you put on a day when you're going to go someplace and you need a little color. That's all it is. It dries immediately. You can wear white. It is going to be a brown color like that. It's a pretty thin consistency. I have it on a baby wipe here. It's not a lotion. It's not a gel. It's kind of hard to explain it, but basically it's foolproof color with a correcting tint. So just picture it's going to tint your body. The other beautiful thing is it's formulated with anti-aging moisturizers that hydrate, replenish, and restore the skin. So I always like when a product has some of those anti-aging benefits in it. It's also infused with argan oil, Matrixyl, and aloe, which are also great products. It is a little pricey. It's around $33, but I love this. I feel like many of you out there aren't going to want the high maintenance of a product like this. Many of you are not going to be disciplined for the upkeep of a product like this. Now remember, this is my favorite, but I'm an upkeep girl, right? We have to gauge what we choose to purchase off of our own personality. So you kind of take what I'm sharing and then you apply it to how it works for you. And if you're saying, I just don't see myself doing the whole gradual tan and doing it like 3 days a week to really develop that color, you're probably not going to stick with something like this. It's cheaper, but there's time involved. So you have to weigh your options. This right here is going to give you a nice dose of tinted color. It dries down, it washes off, it has no smell. I mean, it smells nice, but it doesn't leave a smell if you're sweating or you're out in the heat. So I think a lot of people are really going to just be happy with this. But I hope that you're able to kind of gauge what all would serve you off of what I am sharing. Now let's talk about if you've gotten the color that you really were hoping to achieve, but you just don't quite feel like everything looks even. I'll give you an example. I will be able to get my legs to a pretty good color, but what happens is even though I'm really careful around the knees and I'm really careful around the ankle area, I do notice that I'm a little bit darker in those areas. So if I am going to wear shorts or a dress, I want to somehow blend. So let's think about your makeup. What does your foundation do? It evens out your skin tone. It makes your skin look all seamless. If you have blotchy skin, your foundation will take care of that, right? It evens out your skin tone. Well, there is like makeup for the body that will do the same thing. One of the products I've been using and have loved forever is the Sally Hansen legs. And I will have that product link because I do love that. I just don't have any of it on me right now, but I would recommend it. I love it and I definitely would recommend it. And there's a lot of different ones you can choose from the lotions to the sprays, but I always mix it with my moisturizer because it is going to give off a little bit of an orangey. And the product that I'm going to share with you right now, Vita Liberata Body Blur. Oh my goodness, love, love, love. This one is not going to give you the more orangey look. So again, recommend the Sally Hansen, but make sure you mix it in with your moisturizer. Now I do mix the body blur in with my moisturizer as well because I try to tone it down a little bit. I don't need the full coverage. It's kind of like full coverage foundation. Some people like that, some people don't. I do like full coverage foundation, but because I already have my nice base color, I really just want to use the body blur like I would a foundation to even it out. So I will mix some of the body blur in with my body lotion, and it is like makeup for the skin. We all know when women wore pantyhose, and some people still do, it gives their legs that flawless look. Well, that's kind of what you're going to achieve by mixing these two products in. You could use this on its own if you needed to. I just choose to mix it. It works for me and I like the look of it. Body blur minimizes blemishes, imperfections, and creates a smooth finish on the skin. The body blur also reflects light, so it's great for photos. And it adds a radiance to the skin. I'm not going to say it's like those products that are like a bronzer for the skin and then it's just shimmer. I don't like those. I've had the Tarte one and it seems like there was another one and I actually think I still have them, but it's almost too shimmery. I don't like the shine, but I like the finish that this creates. And I get this in the color Latte, but I've also gotten it in other colors and I think they're all great. Just figure out which one matches your skin tone the best. You also can use this on the face. Let's say you're on vacation and you're not planning on wearing any makeup, but you do want to get that even skin tone, cover a few blemishes. You can use the body blur on your face. You can use it alone, under foundation, whatever you want. This is gonna be a little bit more of a splurgy item, but I think it's awesome. If you're the low maintenance type of person, trying to figure out how I would advise you, because somebody's gonna ask, I would probably say these two products need to be in your arsenal because you could wear this, let's say if you're going to a cookout. You could wear this, but if you want to even out the skin tone a little bit, you could use this along with it. But I would still mix this with moisturizer. So what I would do is I would apply this maybe an hour or two prior to being completely ready. Then I would apply lotion with some body blur mixed in it to the areas that are going to be exposed. So that would be kind of my low maintenance recommendation. If you're like me and you're pretty diligent about your self-tanning, I think there's a purpose for all of it. I really do. But it's very important to make sure you have the exfoliating tools and products, the baking soda, all of that, because it really does boil down to you have to prep the skin. You really have to exfoliate, get your pH levels where they need to be. The other important thing that you need to have on hand is baby wipes or some type of disinfecting wipe, because when you are all done and you've done the tops of your hands, you are still going to want to scrub your palms, and what you're going to want to watch is right in this area, like right here. You're going to want to really scrub and get in between your fingers. A lot of times I will open it up and I will scrub a wipe in between my hands just to make sure that I get everything. So those are key things to have as well. I think I covered everything. I hope I covered everything. If you have product recommendations or tanning tips, please share them. Or if you have a horror story, people love to hear about our self-tanning horror stories. But whatever it is that you have to provide to the community, we all welcome it. So thank you for joining me. Comment, suggestions, and we'll see you soon in the next video. Take care.